Be very unapologetic for who you want to be. Be very, very unapologetic. Refuse to be stoppable. Be very unstoppable. You talk to someone about certain thing and that person is always cutting you off or shunning you off from that thing. Don't take advice from that person. Don't take advice from people you don't want to be like. I know for a fact, I personally know for a fact that life can be very unfair. Life can be very unfair and can be very difficult. But do you know that it's those difficult moments of your lives, those uncomfortable moments of your life that brings you to a new dimension in your life? Do you know that that is what propels you to be the better version of yourself, right? I personally believe that you can do every single thing you've put your mind to do, and you can achieve every single thing you said you're going to achieve. It is very possible, and you can achieve it before 2026. We are in October now, the quarter of the year. This year, 2025, is about to come to an end, and it's coming with a lot of tension. I know some people are feeling like, oh, they've not achieved every single thing they said they're going to achieve. They've not done this, they've not done that. And it happens most of the time. It happens because you feel like, oh, this is about to end, right? Usually, the ending of the year and beginning of the year comes with this ginger. People say out there New Year resolutions, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do that. And then when the year is coming to an end and they've not done it, it's as if they are missing out or there is something wrong with them. But I want to teach you how to be able to achieve these goals and how to be able to step into a new realm and a new dimension before 2026. There are different areas of life, there are different necessities to people, more important necessities to people, areas where you feel like at this point in your life you need to grow. There are different areas. It could be there are majorly five or six or thereabouts. It could be on the area of your career, it could be on the area of finances, it could be business, it could be spirituality, it could be relationship, it could be your fitness, your health. It could be these things, right? But to some people is different. The most important ones are different for them, right? In most cases, in fact, 95% of the time, usually is money, finances that people are looking for during this period, during the end of the year. It could be money, it could be job, like everything centered about finances. It is popular, it is mainly the necessity of people as long as you're living in this world. But then there are some necessities that are supposed to be more consistent than others, which the chiefest of them all is the spirituality area. Your spirituality needs to be watered every day. What are you serving? Who are you serving? Do you know who you're serving? Do you know what he's capable of doing? Do you know what is written about you? These are the things that are supposed to be consistent in your life, even before you thinking about money or thinking about your health. Because best believe if this area is settled, the Bible said, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and every other thing shall be added unto you. So this area of spirituality, first of all, is supposed to be more consistent than the other areas. Not saying that you should neglect finances or you should neglect your health because of this area, but the first and the most primary assignment that have to be considered first as a believer, as a Christian, whatever denomination you are in, is the area of spirituality. People really go after money more, and I can understand that in our life now, literally everything you buy with money, you buy water with money, you buy time, you buy resources, you buy things with money, which is more understandable why people are so focused on money, right? That brings me to the reason why I will talk about focusing on these two areas of your life very well, spirituality and finances, and how to grow in these two areas. So before even jumping into the spirituality, I just want you all to remember why you started certain things that you said you're going to do. If you said you want to be a very spiritual person, if you said you want to be a very financially stable person, I mean, something made you make that decision. You want a better life. You don't want to suffer. You don't want your children to experience what you've experienced. Always remember why you started. Now, on the area of spirituality, there is something my other brother will always tell me, and is a Latin word. It says "estano laborare." That is, to work is to pray, and to pray is to work. So you cannot vet out one and do one. If you want to get something done in your life, you have to work so hard as if you don't need prayers, and you have to pray so hard as if you don't need to work. That is how to find the balance. There is something the Bible said. The Bible says that as it is in heaven, so it is on earth. Do you understand? So it is in heaven first before made manifest on earth. What people don't understand is that there are so many heavenly blessings, so many blessings that has been packaged for us in heaven. Do you know that so many people in this world that have died today were called for greatness, but not all of them achieved greatness. Not all of them became that thing God literally called them to become. And it could be because people did not really tap into God. People did not really tap into this spirituality thing to know what God wants for them, to know what it is God wants for them. So it's either during their lifetime they now played small, or they played without understanding, or they walked without wisdom, or they walked without knowing that, okay, I'm called for more in this life. Sometimes they even have the burden, they even have the ambition that I'm called for more in this life, but because they don't really know what it is, they've not connected to their source. So they cannot even figure out what it is that is calling them, or what it is that they have the burden to do. So some people die. I've had someone said that, I think it's Pastor Miles Monroe. He said that the grave is the richest place, like burial ground, because a lot of dreams were buried in the cemetery. A lot of dead dreams were buried there, a lot of dead visions. So the grave is like the richest place, because so many things that people would have done they didn't do until they died. Do you understand? So you have to keep connecting to what is feeding you. You have to keep connecting to what is supplying you. And at every point in your life, like every time in your life, you need to ask for wisdom. You need to ask God, what is it that you want me to do? Right? And even without asking Him, connecting with Him alone already, He has the ability to give you discernment to work or to do what it is you've been called to this world to do. So you have to keep connecting Him. I see God as my supplier. I see God like a place where I go to fetch water constantly, because He has said to us that He's a well, a water that would never run dry. When we drink of Him, we can never test. Do you understand? So I see Him that every single thing about my life, even for the fact that I'm breathing, for the fact that I have eyes, I can talk, I have ears, that there is something supplying me to be able to, see, to be able to breathe, to be able to talk. So for me to keep getting blessed, for me to keep tapping into those things, I have to keep calling on that person supplying me. I have to keep knowing His will for me at every time, at every moment, per time, per season, whatever be the case. Do you understand? People do a lot to be successful, like you have no idea. People do a lot to be successful. People do a lot to make money. And I'm not even talking about Christians, I'm talking about occult men, I'm talking about ritualists. They kill, they make sacrifices. New age people, they sit down here and they know how to call evil people, they know how to make enchantments to call people. Do you understand? To call their people to come and help them to be able to do certain things they have to do in this world. So what more you that you're a Christian and you know that you have to call God? What more you? Do you know what people do to make money? Do you know people sleep in the cemetery just to wake up 3 days later to make money? It is crazy. So you have to keep calling on God. Nobody just imagines. Everybody have their backing. Everybody have something that is backing them up. Everybody have something that is supplying them. So if you're missing out on the area of spirituality and you want to change your life before 2026, you've not asked God what is it He wants for you. It is almost impossible for you to change that life. You have to know what it is at every point in time from God to know where and what next you're doing with your life. On the area of spirituality, you have to do that. And I don't like to make Christians believe that it's only through prayers you can get what you want, right? It is called external laborare. To work is to pray, and to pray is to work. So now you have to pray as if you don't need to work, and work so hard as if you don't need prayers. It is as simple as that, right? The second thing I want to talk about is on the area of finances. Like, it is really important. Like, it is really important. You need money to do a lot of things in this life. You need money to change your life. You need money. And how can you get money? How can you get money? How can you make money? The first thing I want to talk about, first of all, is to get value. it is important to get value. It's important to give value. Once you have something that people want, once you have something that people need, it could be different areas. People are building houses, people are doing makeup, people are doing hair, people just say things. People have been blessed with wisdom, so they just say things and people just want to bless them. So, what area of your life are you adding value? Right? If you have value, as long as this life is concerned and you have enhanced your value to a certain capacity, you would not complain of money, you would not beg for money again. It is very important to know this. So, what skill are you putting to your life? What new thing are you learning? What value are you giving out? And how strong, how what is the dexterity or the tenacity of the value you're giving out? Do you understand? The second thing I want to talk about is to set clear goals. Like, set clear goals. I'm this person before that I used to like think that doing a lot of things at the same time means that I'm successful, means that I'm hardworking. But nobody just emerges like that. Nobody just becomes successful by being everywhere at the same time. I mean, jack of all trades, master of none. Nobody just becomes successful like that. You need to know what is important for you at every point in time, right? And focus on that thing head on head. Give it your best, right? It could be two things, it could be three things, but don't be everywhere at the same time. That particular thing you said you want to do it, right? If it's waking up very early, 5 a.m. in the morning, you think that that is what will prepare you to the next level of your life, you wake up very early. I was this kind of person before that if I wake up, I'm going to be scrolling through social media, but life is getting serious and I'm no more that kind of person. I have to go on social media if I like want to detox from like the stress of the day, or if I've worked and I've given myself some like serious tasks. Then if I want to now detox, I'll now go to social media to entertain myself, or even if it's not to entertain myself, to learn new things, right? So set clear goals. If you know that, okay, I don't want to keep adding weight, I don't want to keep being broke or keep adding weight. Let's use the weight gain something now. You know that okay, there are certain foods you're not supposed to eat. You don't start by cutting them out completely. You start by okay, I have to eat it small portion first before I now eventually get so addicted to now eating very well. Now decide to now cut out those things that are not helping me. Like personally, I'm not doing any weight gain or weight loss or something, but I know for a fact that sugar is not good for me. So I decided to cut out like carbonated drinks and fizzy drinks. And obviously I don't take alcohol. Like being intentional about my health. If you know you want to make money, set clear goals. Okay, this area of my life that I love so much, this thing I have so much passion for, how do I see that is going to the next level? You could be waking up every day and reading books. You could be watching YouTube videos about those things that you want to do, but don't make it too cumbersome that it becomes difficult for you to achieve. Don't make it too cumbersome that when you now remember I have something to do today, you'll be stressed already in your mind before even executing it physically. If you don't set clear goals, you'll be stressed mentally. You just have to set clear and, will I say, easy goals. It doesn't have to be so easy, but it should be doable, right? It should be very doable. The third thing I want to talk about, which is very important, is to remember why you started. Remember why you started things that you said you were going to do. Remember why you started that business. Remember why you stay eating healthy. Remember you were diagnosed with diabetes and they said cut out sugar completely. Remember why you started. Remember that you want to give your family a better life. Remember that you're tired of complaining about money. Remember that you're tired of begging people, because some of us don't like to ask people for something. Oh my god. Some of us hate to ask you for something. That's why it's as if we are working so hard so that we can get our own, basically. So always remember why you started. It should be a motivation for you. Things outside should not motivate you. You should be a squad on your own. You should be a motivation by yourself, basically. You should be a driving force by yourself, basically. The other thing I want to talk about is to be very disciplined. Like, I'm huge on talking about discipline, because discipline is something I really struggled with before. This 2025, I can say to myself that I've learned how to be more disciplined, right? Saying no when you don't have to say yes, even when it's difficult, saying no. Don't be a people pleaser. Don't follow people up and down. Your destiny is totally different from people's destiny. Discipline also means not depending on motivations or emotions to do things. Discipline means that, okay, I've said I'm going to do this thing. No matter how I feel at that point, no matter what it is that is happening to me at that point, I am going to get up and see that I get these things done. I am going to get up and see that this thing I've said I'm going to do, this thing that I said I would do, I am actually going to do it and get it done. That is something about being disciplined. Having that consciousness in your mind all the time that I have to get this done, and the small steps that I put towards getting these things done are the things that will bring out success later in life. Even if everything is failing, even if no one is clapping for you, even if you're not seeing results, even if it doesn't make sense, even if, keep doing those things and you see that one day it's going to be in your favor. You're going to be very successful. Another thing I want to talk about, I think the fifth thing now, I'm not keeping count. The fifth thing I want to talk about is consistency. Consistency and discipline, they are almost synonymous with each other. They are almost the same thing, but not the same thing. I usually, I'm someone that I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It's not good. The best thing to do if you want to change your life is to pick out one thing or two things that you know is very important to you. Finance, spirituality, on the area of business self, like you, I know you might have different like business ideas to do, like I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that. The most important thing is to pick out one that you know that if this thing goes well, it can help me start other businesses, right? It can propel me to like do other things that I want to do. I don't know if this makes sense. So you have to first of all be consistent at one thing or two things. Don't make it too cumbersome. Then when eventually those things start paying off, when eventually you've understood how to navigate certain things, certain challenges that comes with that first business, certain challenges that comes with that first thing, if you're able to navigate through it, then you can be able to navigate through other things so you can start other things. So if you want to actually change your life, the first thing you should actually do is to be consistent. It's consistency is very important. I mean, to be very, very consistent and to be consistent at one thing before other things now start. Another thing I want to tell you is to surround yourself with people that think the way you think. Surround yourself with business-minded people. Surround yourself with people that are successful. If you don't have, you don't even need to wait for them to be successful. People that know that they want more from life, literally. And if you don't have them around you, go on YouTube and in fact go. I sometimes on Google self you can download a full article about people like Amazon, like Elon Musk, like Tesla, like you can download a full article and keep it on your homepage and then be reading it once in a while. Surround yourself, even if you don't want to watch YouTube videos, read books, read things, read articles, read. If you look at this place on my bed, there are a lot of books that are piled up here. Like that is how you will grow. That is how you can be higher, better than the 1%, the average person. Literally, surround yourself with people that think the way you think. Surround yourself with people that want to do more to life. There are some people that they don't want so much with their life. They don't want so much. They're not so motivated. And I'm not judging them. I'm not saying that they're unserious, but we are all called for different purpose. God has placed different burdens in our hearts. God has placed different things in our hearts. So you now that have that ambition, you now that have that burden to do more with your life, surround yourself with like-minded people. Surround yourself with people that also want to do more with their life, so that you can see that nobody is limiting you. Nobody is telling you don't do this, don't take this kind of risks, you might fail, you might do this. It's better you fail at trying to do something than not even trying to do that thing at all at all. It is very better, right? So surround yourself with people that will not limit you. And if you constantly talk to someone about certain thing and that person is always cutting you off or shunning you off from that thing, don't take advice from that person. Don't take advice from people you don't want to be like, people you don't look up to, people. Don't take advice from them. Don't. It's very important to know that. And the last and final thing I want to say, which is also very important, is to believe in yourself. Like, believe in yourself. Act like who you are already. Be confident. Like, believe in it. Be unapologetic for who you want to be. Be very unapologetic for who you want to be. Be very, very unapologetic. Refuse to be stoppable. Be very unstoppable. Be very unstoppable. See, that thing you said you want to be, that thing you put your mind to do, you can achieve it. just believe in yourself. And it's not just enough to believe in yourself, believe in the God that has called you to do those things. Believe that He's able to make every crooked way straightforward for you. Believe that there is nothing that you put your mind to do in this world that you cannot achieve. It is important to have that belief system. It is important to know that your Father in heaven is a God of abundance, and it is possible to get abundance and still be in God. Because it's different that when eventually God blesses you, you now leave Him and start following the world. It is terrible. It is a fear factor that personally I have, literally. So I make sure in my consciousness that every time that I pray for abundance, I pray for the grace to carry me through that abundance and the grace to still remain in God when I have that abundance. So believe in yourself and believe that your God is a God of abundance, and in due time you will get everything that is required of you to get. Everything that God has called you to get, you will get it. I said a lot. This video is almost 30 minutes or more than 30 minutes. I don't know, but like, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to see you guys in my next video. If you like this video, please, if you enjoyed this video, sorry, please do well to like, do well to comment, subscribe, and give this video a thumbs up, because once you give it a thumbs up, YouTube will recommend more people to this, right? See you guys in my next video. Okay, bye.